The Missing in America project began with the efforts of Richard Sessler, director of the Idaho Veterans Cemetery. Mr. Sessler began the Missing in America project to locate abandoned veteran remains throughout the state and ensure that they receive proper burial in the Idaho Veterans Cemetery. Sessler said, "Honor and serve veterans in life and memorialize them in death for their sacrifices on behalf of this nation." Early in 2005, he learned that cremains of veterans were abandoned in the most obscure places, for example, in the trunk of a car, a storage locker, and in cardboard boxes on shelves in cemeteries and other government offices. Faced with that reality, Richard Sessler conceived the vision that we now know is the Missing in America project. The first formal burial service for forgotten warriors was on November 9, 2006, with an estimated 350 in attendance. Sessler coordinated the entire event and laid to rest 21 veterans and one spouse located in funeral homes and coroner's offices in Idaho. These veterans were provided the military honors they deserved for serving our great nation. The event included full military honors and a symbolic presentation to honor those recovered, with participation from all 5 branches of service, and including taps and a flyover by the Army National Guard Black Hawk helicopters. Sessler also collaborated with Idaho State Governor, Idaho State Senators, and Congressmen to draft national legislation for the program. As time continued, Sessler found in Idaho a total of 92 veterans and spouses from 2005 to 2007. And in 2007, Richard Sessler was selected as the director of the Washington State Veterans Cemetery, Washington State Department of Veterans Affairs. During this period, Major Fred Salanti, United States Army retired, was living in Grants Pass, Oregon, and worked with the Veterans Administration there and Eagle Point National Cemetery. He became aware through the chaplains at White City that they performed services for those veterans who were homeless, indigent, or families who did not want a private service, but felt comfortable with services with several veterans. California had similar issues that were major scandals of containers of unclaimed remains that were found. In Oregon, over 3,500 cremated remains were recovered from the Oregon State Mental Hospital from 1891 to 1970 and needed to be identified. The task was enormous. State laws, civil questions, and privacy issues were difficult to handle. They had to organize. They incorporated the Missing in America Veterans Recovery Program on February 12, 2007, and held the first national memorial service on February 19, 2007, at the Northern California Veterans Cemetery for the first veterans verified. Hull and Hull Funeral Homes in Grants Pass let them verify the abandoned remains, and they conducted a memorial service there for 19 veterans.
We're joined by Richard Sessler. He's the director out here, and we're going to talk about the Missing in America project, something that you started yourself. Tell us what it is, and this is part of it.
Well, what we're doing is we're actually going out and recovering veterans and veteran spouses that we considered have truly been abandoned. They are in coroner's offices and funeral homes and medical examiner's office. And they're not identified. So we get their records, we check if they are a veteran or a veteran spouse, and we recover them to give them burial in our cemetery, give them the honors that they earned.
One of the amazing stories you have, that every one of these has stories, is this Lyndon Atwood.
Lyndon was found in the trunk of a car that was abandoned on the side of the road. It went up for auction. When they opened the trunk, they found cremains and a flag in there. And he was given to me at a meeting. We checked that was on a Saturday. On the Monday morning we checked, found out he truly was a veteran entitled to be buried, and placed him here. But he died in 2005, so he sat in the trunk of that car from 2005 until 2011.
Another amazing story, John Brophy down here is another one where you guys did the legwork and really helped him.
Well, as we found out, he came to us out of the Walla Walla coroner's office. By the way, the VFW down there helped us tremendously. And the name Jack Daniels, as we did a record search, we found out that wasn't his name. His name was John Brophy, and he had received a dishonorable discharge, convicted wrongly in a civilian court, dishonorably discharged. So all of his life he sought help, couldn't get it. But when we found all the records with the Veterans Administration, we made an application to upgrade his discharge because it should not have been a dishonorable discharge. He was given an honorable discharge, and we could place it.
The initial focus of the Missing in America project will be a massive nationwide effort to locate, identify, and inter the unclaimed remains of forgotten veterans. This task will be executed through the combined cooperative efforts of members of the American Legion, other volunteer service, and veteran organizations.
We are here today to honor veterans who were not claimed, who have been sitting on shelves for a large number of years, and make sure that they get the funeral and with the honors, with people here to grieve for them. That's never happened before for these individuals. So that's why we're here.
I would like to thank all of you for once again coming. As the wife of a retired Army Master Sergeant, throughout our military career, the military family was our family. The birth of a child, it was the military family that was there. The death of a loved one, the military family was there. And so I feel it's only fitting that once again, all of us as a military family are here today for these 18 veterans. I'd like to thank you once again.
They were someone's brother, they were our neighbors, they were someone's dad, and today we lay them to rest in our national cemetery here at Quantico. They raised their right hand, they took the oath. They put on a new scratchy uniform. They learned to march. They risked their lives in defense of our nation. These soldiers, sailors, airmen left home, left their families, left everything they knew to fight for our nation. They fought in both world wars, Korea and Vietnam. And likely, none of them asked for anything more from this country, from our nation. But I don't believe they expected to be abandoned, unclaimed, and unrecognized as they made their final bivouac. But thanks to the efforts of dedicated volunteers, generous funeral homes, funeral directors, state and federal organizations, they are no longer forgotten, no longer unknown, and no longer alone. I want to commemorate the Missing in Action Project Veteran Recovery Program for their tireless effort and work in identifying these deserving veterans and for bringing us together as a community partners to ensure that they are laid to rest in a national cemetery. As Americans, we believe there are things worth fighting for and some worth dying for. And we believe deeply that those who wore the cloth of our nation are worthy of a final resting place in a national shrine as Quantico National Cemetery. and worthy of a lasting tribute to commemorate their service and their sacrifice. These 18 earned these honors being rendered to them today. They earned our undying gratitude, and they earned our respect. Please take the time to thank those in uniform, those who have served, and our veterans while they're still alive. And please reach out to your families and their survivors. Also, please consider volunteering at the local VA hospital, VA nursing homes, and VA national cemeteries. And please bring your children to our cemeteries and your grandchildren, and here to Quantico National Cemetery. Teach them that freedom is not free. Tell them that these that are fallen and buried here in our national cemeteries gave their tomorrows so that we may have our todays. Remember, they gave their tomorrows so that we may have our todays. May God bless these 18 veterans being laid to rest this morning, and all the men and women standing watch around the globe. And may God bless this grateful nation. Thank you very much.
I'm Charlie Worthing with the Missing in America Project, the Assistant Vice President. Some things have been happening with Missing America Project. We started in 2007. Our founder, Fred Salanti, is a Vietnam vet, Army Major retiree, and he saw a need as part of Patriot Guard back in the day that we had this need to find our fellow brothers and sisters. So that's how MIAP started. We're actively across the country. We have laws passed in 28 states now to help the funeral homes contact a veteran service organization such as Missing America Project to facilitate helping find their veterans and get them off the shelves and bring them home, just like we did here today.
The Missing in America Project was now a reality. 2 funeral homes alone provided them with over 2,400 cremains to verify for veteran status. New state laws require every funeral home in the state to provide the information on every unclaimed person. There will be thousands more to verify and bury. It truly is the right thing to do.
For the Creator of this universe and Sustainer and Redeemer, to receive unto Him the dearly departed souls of our comrades. We commit their bodies now to the earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, in hope of the resurrection and the life evermore. This we pray in your holy name. Amen.
I'm the Montana State Chaplain for the Missing in America Project. MIAP is a veteran recovery program that started in January of 2007. We identify and bury the unclaimed remains of veterans across the United States. We provide honor and respect to those who have served this country by securing a final resting place for those forgotten veterans. I would like to take a few minutes to remind all of us to pray for our military personnel. Whether active duty or retired, these people put their lives on the line every day for our freedoms and liberties. Most of them never receive a thank you from those of us who have not been in the service. Many of the military personnel will tell you that the honor came in serving, but I am here to remind you of the hardships they face on a daily basis. While in the service, they face many types of weather, from freezing rain to sweltering heat, many months, even years, away from loved ones and the loss of many close friends. When they return home, many of them have difficulties adjusting to life outside of the service. Some return from war suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. Many of these veterans find it too difficult to function in everyday life. Most states have a large number of homeless veterans that just walk away from everything they know. For them, it is easier to live in a cardboard box under a bridge somewhere than to try to fit into society. Often, many of these homeless veterans pass away without anyone knowing they are gone. Their honor is stripped from them as they sit on shelves in funeral homes. Most funeral homes have large storage areas where they store the cremated remains of people that have gone unclaimed. In Idaho, there were 648 funeral homes visited by MIAP. There were 6,642 cremains found in those storage units. 3,500 were found in one storage unit alone. Of those 6,642 people, 571 were unclaimed veterans. These people are stored for many years in tin cans about the size of coffee cans. Then they are disposed of without tribute to their service and their lives. In Montana, a law was passed allowing the funeral homes to dispose of the cremains after 20 years. It is up to the funeral homes what they do with those remains. In another state, there are even cases where the funeral homes have gone out of business and left all of the unclaimed cremains behind in the storage areas. The Missing in America Project is hoping to change that outcome. We would like to see all military personnel buried with full honors. I would like to acknowledge and thank each and every military person